Yeah, so this post is going to be a little bit more solemn than some of my other posts because I feel a particular way right now, and it isn't good. Like, I saw some of the videos from, the Exoticals channel and Chrissy's channel, and these channels going back and forth with one another, and I don't like any of it. Like, initially, I kept hearing things on the Exoticals channel where they were talking about, like, yes, these unambiguous black women are saying, you know, these sorts of things about Exoticals, and then they were talking about how Chrissy was calling them psychoticals, and I'll start by speaking to that for a minute, because a lot of people have called me psychotic. That's a thing. It's like this thing that's thrown around. And initially, I thought it was like, oh, well, I made videos about it on this channel before where people love to, like, anything going on with a black woman, like, they really, like, so many groups in society have never seen black women react to anything or be in any normal situation ever. So any reaction is abnormal and it's weird and it's crazy. So, like, something that's like actually nutty that you have no idea how to deal with could happen to you, and because, like, you don't have any idea how to deal with it, they've never seen anyone like you deal with it, you don't have anything to pull from to deal with it, no one fucking knows what to do, and it's just like it actually becomes crazy. Now, if only you had more representation, like, just other black women in the world who have done stuff, who have processed emotions and talked about their feelings, shared how they, normally behave and react to something that's not a fucking meme. Because when you memify everything, then all of a sudden the shit that's real becomes really hard to, like, debunk. That's the thing, but I don't know. I think that might be way too complex to be able to, like, unpack in all seriousness with the way that society is right now. Nobody cares about that. Like, I know, like, I care, you probably care, but, like, other people don't. So we're gonna have to get over that. But so I think a part of gaslighting psychoticals or exoticals is kind of saying the shit that they're going through isn't real. But also, some things I noticed that I thought were strange is, like, some of the exotical channels they're just pulling, like, black women into this, like, exotical group, and they're basically saying, like, every attractive black person is an exotical. So unambiguous black women are just ugly black women, and then exoticals are just attractive black women, and it's like, what? Like, that's like, yeah, like, I don't believe that, but I do appreciate just having highlighting attractive black women. Like, I appreciate that. So, you gotta kind of take it as it comes, I suppose. Like, take the good and the bad. And then I watched Chrissy's response video, and there were just some parts that were really bothersome. It wasn't actually her. Like, I kind of understood where she was coming from, where she was pretty much saying, like, this woman has been stalking me for a while and, like, going into her Patreon and doing all this shit, and then, like, basically saying she disagrees with her. Like, here's one thing I will say, like, if you don't like someone or you don't agree with them, I think that's totally fine, but, like, it does seem a little bit unhealthy to, like, continue to, like, come into their space to, like, stalk their talking points and all that. Like, you can like someone and then just be away from them. I think that's, like, a much healthier way to go about it, because that is strange behavior, I will say that. And then here's where it got even more weird. So Chrissy had this audio recording of this black man who was calling black women monkeys, and he's like, fuck these monkey whores, these ugly monkey whores. This is what he said. And he was talking about, like, oh, and I see their hair on screen, it makes me want to throw up. That's what he said. He's like, oh, I hate it. And I was, like, I don't know, I feel like I've heard these talking points about black women before, and it was really uncomfortable to hear it, but I feel like it was also kind of necessary to hear it. And I really want everyone on this channel to kind of hear it. Maybe I could grab the other phone and we could like listen into it. But I gotta tell you, it was pretty brutal. Um, and maybe I'll actually just make another video that's like just about that, because I feel like I've actually heard these talking points from not just black men. I've heard it from like some white men. I've heard it from Latino people in general. Like, and I just wonder like why people have all of this like hate and disdain for, because they're not just saying like, oh, this one particular black woman is just so unattractive and ugly. If you actually see the black woman that they're kind of referring to, you'd be like, at least if you're like a normal person who just has like a pretty standard level of like who's attractive and who's not, like they are calling like pretty attractive black women just ugly. They'll be like, she's so awful, and you'll kind of see her and you'll be like, that's interesting, like she's perfectly fine. Like I'm not seeing it. It's just because they like hate black women so much, and I think that's like, that's something that's a little hard to hear. But I feel like another reason why I made this channel and I continue to come on to this channel and like say stuff, because like I don't know, I kind of do feel like not all black men, but there's a large and growing percentage who are just so hateful. And because of the way that the dating stats and like you know, just kind of the affinity that black women have toward black men still, like many of them won't divest, and they will continue to like chase after and seek and try to gain the approval of black males, even though they're getting literally nothing in return, like actually nothing. Like the marriage rates aren't going up, the money in the community isn't going, like nothing is getting better, but black women won't leave. And you know, I hope one day that more will, but I think that it's just going to require like more of us to kind of like make content, be visible, and be really clear about like, we see what they are doing and we understand that it's bad and it's like not okay. And to an extent, like both of these communities, the Exoticals community and Chrissy's community, are making me a little bit uncomfortable right now, because like I see myself as an attractive person, but I also see myself as a black person. So I don't want to separate myself from my blackness. And I don't want other people to start referring to me as something other than black because I am attractive. Like, no, that's just not the thing. And I feel like what the Exoticals community is trying to do, in a sense, is just pull out every single attractive black person and be like, yes, all of these people are other. Like now they're calling like Beyonce non-black, her mother is non-black. Oh, they're actually members of these communities. And like I can kind of see it, but then also I would say no, just because like the way that Beyonce self-identifies is very black, and the way that Beyonce's mother self-identifies as black. So, and I think a lot of that also comes back down to American history, and this is another reason I saw a lot of people, they keep making these videos about Tyla, and I think that Miss Tina, you know, Tina Knowles, and her own personal conversations about like how she identifies comes from the very, very, very long history around like race and what it means to be black in America. In America, because like in America, Tyla is black. In South Africa, Tyla is colored. But the issue that a lot of black people are having, and I continue to agree with this, culture matters. It really does. And so even if you like, if you see yourself as like some foreign alien from another planet, and then you come to like America and you're, you know, trying to assimilate into the culture here, I do understand that certain parts of who you are going to like rub off on the people there. And so they will start to sort of become similar to you, and then you will also sort of become similar to them, just because you guys have some differences. But like also it's just unrealistic to expect the entire community to like shift and mold toward your personal way of being because like you are now there, which is kind of what I feel like is what's happening with like all of the conversations around coloredness, and I think that's weird, and I just don't agree with it. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's very strange. Ugh, like, to be continued.